What's up, guys? Matty Diaz here, Leads for Locals. I got a fun one for you today. We're going to talk about how to deal with trolls on your social media post. Because the knee-jerk reaction is to get really frustrated and really annoyed when you're trying to share really good content with people. You're trying to share, whether that's you're sharing your journey, what you're learning, what's working for you, or just in general teaching them something or sharing something that could be very beneficial. And then you get trolls that try and kind of rain on your parade. I want to talk about a recent incident that I had personally with a troll that was just, man, he's pretty relentless. But I wanted to make this video because this can actually be very, very beneficial. Trolls can be very beneficial to our business. And I wanted to show you the exact post and conversation and everything and just how I handled it. And I'm not saying I handled it, perfectly or anything, but the benefit of trolls is a couple of different things. Is what I realized, anyways. Because initially I was very aggravated, but then when I took a step back, took a breath, and I started to think about it, I was like, this is actually helping me. And so there's two main benefits that I realized that come from trolls trolling on your post, right? Just these people that I don't know, maybe they just don't have anything better to do that day, and they're just trolling on your stuff. One is that it actually, when it comes to social media algorithms, the more engagement that you get, even if it's what you would perceive as negative engagement, the algorithm doesn't really make that distinction up until a certain point. Like if they're like saying like really crazy stuff, but if you're just having a disagreement with somebody, they don't really distinguish between good engagement and bad engagement with regards to how we would interpret it. It just sees it as engagement. And the more engagement you get on your post, the more reach you get out to your followers, your audience, etc. So when you're going back and forth with a troll, it actually helps get more exposure for that particular post. So if you're trying to share something really valuable with people, maybe you're doing it for business, and you want to get as much reach as possible, you should actually almost hope that somebody trolls on your post, because the more people like, comment, share, and in this particular example, comment, the algorithm sees that as a very engaging post and wants to push it out to more of your audience. So that was benefit number one. Benefit number two is when you handle it properly, and I don't really believe you should delete comments from trolls unless it's like really, really egregious, maybe. Like if it's just so out of left field. But if people disagree with you, you should actually encourage that. And so the second benefit is, again, assuming that you handle it well, everybody else that sees the post that might be inspired by it, maybe learns from it, might be intrigued to reach out to you. When they see how you handle somebody that disagrees with you, number one, how you handle it, but two, if they disagree and you provide information, facts, testimonials, whatever, to the contrary, that is even more of a powerful sales tool for whatever it is that you're selling within your business. So let me show you this example here. So and that'll kind of explain everything that I'm talking about here, so you can just see it. So at the time of this recording, I am starting another business. I've got another YouTube channel, another whole university, community, all that stuff that I'm building. And it's all centered around this infinite banking concept. I just think it's extremely powerful. I've been just going down this crazy, crazy rabbit hole of finance, I guess you could call it. And it's just been mind-blowing. I just got my own infinite banking policy. And so I'm starting this new journey, and I'm learning all these really cool things, and I'm starting to share it with people. And so naturally, when you start to do that, you're going to get, you're going to get haters. You're going to get some negative feedback. It is what it is. That's fine. But here's what happened. And, he posted right here that he tried to say that I decided to walk away from the conversation, which I did not, and I even had people kind of laughing at it. But anyways, we're going to start from the beginning. And so let me go down to the initial post where he started just kind of trolling me. And when I say trolling, I'm not saying, so like he was basically disagreeing with me, but the reason I put it in the category of trolling is because he would not tell me what he disagreed about. He wouldn't provide any facts, nothing to back up any of his claims. He just kept saying, I disagree, I disagree, I disagree. And at that point, it's like, well, dude, what is the point of even commenting on this if when I engage back with you, asking you to clarify what you're talking about, you don't participate. You just keep saying you disagree. Like, that's no different than any other bot or any other troll that comments that provides negative feedback on people's posts, right? So when I got my policy, I was really excited about it. I shared it, and I made this post about why I was inspired to get it, like what I plan to do with it, the benefits of it. I'm starting a new business around it and all that stuff. And if we come down here, I'll go to all these comments here, and we'll scroll down. I've got all this, really good feedback. I even generated leads from it. I got really good feedback. People were interested in it, and that's great. That's part of why we post on social media. But then, I have this gentleman here. So this is how it started. I find your answer funny. Hope it works out. Now, I don't know about you, but when I saw that, I had no idea what he was talking about. My answer, one, I wasn't providing an answer to anything. Two, what's funny about it? So I just straight up asked him. I said, hey, my answer? What do you mean? And then he says, dude, you're starting to act like you have all the answers now. How many millions do you have today to make these? This is where we are going. Come on, brother. So part of that doesn't even really make sense. So guys, if you are going to troll somebody, at least make sense with what you're saying. But this was really dumb, in my opinion. So, again, it was really aggravating for a number of different reasons. But I tried to stay cool, calm, collected, and so you want to stay cool, calm, and collected, but firm as well. Don't let people walk all over you. Don't just brush it off. Like, throw it back at them a little bit. And again, people might say, well, I don't have time to do that. Well, you should make the time, because one, you need to address any negative feedback. It would be like saying, if you're a local business and you get a negative review, you get 10 positive reviews, but you get one negative review. Oh, I'm not going to worry about that negative review. I don't have time for that. I'm worried about all this other good stuff that I'm working on. No, you actually need to address that, because one, maybe you can fix the problem and turn that negative review into a positive review. Two, people need to see you responding to that negative feedback if they're going to continue doing business with you. You might have tons of really good feedback over here, but if you have negative feedback over here that you have not addressed, or you address in a terrible way, that could actually sway people away from you. That could make people not want to do business with you. So you need to make time to respond to this, number one. And number two, again, it's really good for the algorithm. So I want to have this conversation, because the more comments I get on the post, the more the algorithm's going to push this out. So I just basically said, I don't claim to have all the answers, which I didn't. If you read that post, then you'll see I'm not claiming to have all the answers. I'm literally just sharing what I'm doing in my life. And, this is a really stupid argument that people make. How many millions have I made? So what you're saying is I need to make millions before I can share anything that's working for me. Like, I don't need to do 100 real estate deals before I start sharing what's working with me in real estate. Like, if I'm in the real estate industry, I could do one or two deals and say, hey, I made $5,000 last deal. I made $7,000, this next deal. I've done one or two deals. Hey, I'm going to share this with people. Like, hey, this is what I did on that deal, and this is what's working for me, right? So you don't need to have millions, or you don't need to do a ton of real estate deals, or you don't need to have 1,000 clients or whatever in whatever business that you're doing before you can start sharing your journey and what's working with people. Like, so when people make that argument, it's really just a stupid argument. Don't come at me with what you think are my lack of credentials or lack of authority. If you disagree with something, disagree on the merits of what I'm talking about, right? And that's basically kind of where I took this. Lack of authority, because I've made millions. That's basically what I said. Base your argument on the facts of what I'm sharing. And then I asked him, is what I'm sharing wrong? And if so, how? Explain yourself. So you disagree. What do you disagree about? And so we continue. Matt, you're a good guy, but please be reasonable with the public. That was literally his next response, which completely just, maybe he didn't see the comment. I don't know. So please be reasonable with the public. And again, I addressed him. Tell me, how am I being reasonable? Don't attack these trolls back and say, and call them names or whatever. Eventually, I kind of start calling him out because, like, he was trolling beyond what I had the patience for. Eventually, you can call them out on the fact that they're trolling, but in the beginning, like, try to find out, what are they trolling about? What is your disagreement with me here? So tell me how I'm being unreasonable. As you know, long-term business guy, I think you're leading people in the wrong direction. Again, he's not saying why I'm doing that. Wrong direction, far-fetched. Okay, so this is important too. Remember this. I will not say any more good luck to you. So when I read that, and hope your investment people, which I wasn't even talking about in investment, but when I read that, I assumed he was done. He was walking away from the conversation. He's done. He's not going to provide anything to back up what he's talking about. Okay, fine. And I called him out on this. You still won't say what you actually disagree with. What was far-fetched? How am I leading people in the wrong direction? You're going to say stuff like that. Explain. If you're not, this is where I start calling him out, because I'm getting a little frustrated here, because I keep giving him an opportunity to explain himself. Like, what do you disagree with? What is so bad about what I posted? And a lot of the times people, they're just trolling, man. But again, this is beneficial because there's a lot of engagement here. There's a conversation going back and forth. And it's not investment, but thank you for your contribution. Best of luck to you, sir. So I called him out on the other stuff. What's far-fetched? Like, explain yourself. And then I assumed he was done with the conversation, but he continued. I hope you allow people to read my comments, read my thoughts, unless it gets you tired of reading stuff like this. I told him, yeah, I mean, I'm not going to delete anything. Everybody can read your comments. I'm not opposed. I don't have a problem with people that disagree with me. I just have an issue with, like, if you're going to start saying that you disagree with something, you're going to keep saying it over and over, but you're not explaining what you disagree with. That can be pretty stupid. I hope you will also share exactly what you disagree with and why. Simply saying you disagree is not helpful. I don't believe what you are promoting now yet. So yes, I disagree. Man, he just keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again. Nothing, please don't take it the wrong way. You're a nice guy. Oh, that's nice of him. I'm a nice guy. Well, that makes everything better. We can just forget this ever happened and we'll be pals again, which we're not, but nothing taken the wrong way. I appreciate your feedback. All the best. Now, again, guys, notice that, like, I said that, at this point I'm getting aggravated, but again, people are watching this. Like, if you are going to promote your stuff, your business on social media, you have to expect that you are going to get negative feedback from people. You're going to get people that disagree with you. You have to be able to handle that in a professional way. When people look, like, because people are going to see this, and how you interact with these people that disagree with you can make a huge difference, a huge impact on whether or not the other people that see your post decide to do business with you or not. So I was very polite. I didn't take it in any negative direction. I was almost kind of following his lead a little bit in this case, where I'm just letting him be the moron and I'm being the cool, calm, collected person. Just like, okay, whatever you say, man. You won't tell me what you disagree with, but that's okay. Hey, best of luck to you as well. When people see that, like, people can put two and two together. It's like, wow. And actually, I'll show you proof here. I won't even say it. I've got people here. I hope people will read, tired of using social media, whatever. And then I said, whatever you say, man, good luck to you. Like, he just keeps saying the same thing over and over. Please post my comments, blah, blah, blah. And eventually I had a couple of people actually comment on this post, on the engagement, where a buddy of mine here said, hey, I have to say, as an outsider looking in, you haven't, and he's talking about the troll in this. He's talking to the troll. Like, you could see, he tagged him here. I have to say, as an outsider looking in, you haven't offered me much explanation as to why I should do the opposite of what Matt, me, is suggesting. And he goes on to say that I'm not really sure what he's talking about, but you're not providing any information about why you disagree. So that's why, like, again, this is a great example of why people who troll on your stuff can actually be really, really good for the content that you post, your business long term. He says right here, if you're going to slap your opinion down that is meant for others, you should offer concrete evidence. So when you handle it properly, you'll actually have your audience kind of come to the rescue a little bit. So now one last thing I want to show you is this is where he really started to aggravate me. Is he posted on my timeline. So if I scroll up, so I did another post here. This was a video one. And then he commented on my new cover photo. So what kind of guaranteed return, blah, blah, blah. He didn't respond to anything that I provided there. And then right here, shortly after that final piece of the conversation in that original post, wow. I see you decided to walk away from conversation. I think I was spot on. Sorry. Oh man, talk about it, like the ultimate troll at this point. And so what I did was I screenshotted. Remember what I told you? Like, hey, remember this for the near future here. I screenshotted this, the comment that he made, basically him saying he was leaving the conversation. I'm just gonna what do you say? I will not say anymore. Good luck. Hope your investment. Blah blah blah. I screenshotted that, posted it in the comments. I'm like, and I told him I'm not walking away from anything. You're the one that was going to walk away. And then I addressed it like, it's not a conversation. You keep saying you disagree. You won't say why. You won't back up any of your claims. Now you're trolling me on my timeline. Now I'm starting to call him out because he's kind of being a jerk at this point. Like, it's one thing to disagree and like in the comment section, you're having an engagement. But then when, like, after that engagement where it goes absolutely nowhere, and then you go onto the person's timeline and say, oh, you walked away from the conversation. No, I was responding to you every single step of the way, and you weren't saying anything. And that's where I started to kind of get a little bit more aggressive with it, but not, don't do anything crazy. But I basically said, nothing you said was spot on because you didn't actually say anything. So either pony up some facts or get back to being an adult. Maybe that's a little too aggressive. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not here to decide that. But again, on this post, the same friend of mine earlier that made that comment, he's waiting. I'm like, I'm waiting for your response here. He hasn't responded. I had another person say, just kind of crack up about it. So it was very interesting, a very interesting experience, and I wanted to share that with you guys because, like, listen, don't be afraid of negative feedback. Don't be afraid of trolls. Trolls can actually be a good thing. There's some cases where you just want to delete it, like where they're being just really, really obnoxious. But when I say trolling, I'm talking about people that disagree, but they just, they have no facts to back up their claim, and actually even if they do, which in that case it's not necessarily trolling. I put this in the bucket of trolling because he just kept saying the same thing over and over and over again and would not back up his claims whatsoever. And then he posted on my timeline saying I walked away from the conversation. Nope, I'm not letting you get away with that, buddy. So use this to your advantage, guys. I hope this helps, and hope you're crushing it. I'll talk to you in the next one. Matty Ice is out.